Administration of NHL officials is done in this building, located in Toronto, handy to the airport because Scotty Morrison and his staff log hundreds of thousands of miles over a season.
We start the season with a schedule of 840 games, and we try to build a very competent and professional team of officials. We have 12 referees that would work in the National Hockey League and 21 linesmen. And we select our top 10 referees and our top 18 linesmen to start the playoffs. So that makes it extremely competitive for these fellows because this is the incentive that they work very hard for or towards all season. When we get into the semifinals, then we drop down to our 8 referees, and the whole idea of this is to get a team that's well organized, but a team that each game means something to them.
All right, gents, good luck to both of you. Let's go.
As we get into the playoffs, I think, for example, of the NFL or the World Series, where they're dealing with officials who may have 25 years experience. They may be 50, 55 years of age, but I consider professional hockey the most difficult of the sports to officiate, and we're dealing with a lot younger staff, and that's one of the reasons that we start with young officials, 22, 23, and normally by the age of, say, 45, 46, our senior people are thinking of retiring. So this makes it a very competitive field for young people coming in, but certainly offers an outstanding career, in my opinion.
Frank Adveri, one of only a handful of referees honored with induction into the Hockey Hall of Fame, is the senior supervisor of officials.
From a supervisor standpoint, that you look to see, first of all, see how he's handling certain, like, say, emotional situations, how is his positioning, the linesmen, their line calls, their communication, their teamwork, their face-offs. And when this is all after the game, I usually just make notes, and then after the game, I go back to the hotel and I make out my rating report, which goes into the to Scotty Morrison's office in Toronto.
With teams videotaping all their games, the league offices often refer to these tapes for further supervision and evaluation.
Eddie, you got the stick up. You got him with a high stick in. That's all I want. Stay out of there. Stay out of there.
All right, Wally.
Whether you want to get a stupid penalty, I'm telling you now, calm down. It's a stupid penalty. Now keep out of there.
John McCauley, whose refereeing career was cut short by an eye injury, acts as the assistant director of officiating. Much like a head coach, he has the job of telling the officials which ones will go on and which ones will be eliminated from further service in the playoffs.
Being on the other side, I'm very aware of a person's feelings, and we try to bring them in a one-to-one consultation and to explain to them why they aren't working. And I think if an individual official is fair to himself, he'll understand why he is not working. And we point things out as to, to help him along, because we don't want to destroy the fellow as well. We still want him, when most want a future in the business. It's just that everybody can't be selected, and there has to be decisions made, and we hopefully can render these decisions without hurting too many feelings.
Both of you guys have taken a pushing before. We don't need that stuff. Good there, you're interfering. Come on, let's go.
These highly trained NHL officials are true professionals, paid to do a very physically and emotionally demanding job.
The salaries are very good. Our young referees start somewhere in the area around $30,000, and they work up to $60,000, $65,000. Our linesmen are just a little lower. They start in the area of around $23,000, $24,000 and can go up to $50,000. And for the playoffs, of course, which is the big incentive, we start somewhere, our top people can earn close to $15,000 for playoffs if they work right through the Stanley Cup Finals.
The one I have up cancel. Yeah. And the one, and then look, they both cancel. Oh, hit right here. It is penalty you were calling though. Steve, I asked.
But it's more than money that motivates the men who wear the striped shirts and blow the whistles, as far as Frank Adveri is concerned.
To really put up with all the abuse and the criticism, the travel, everything connected with officiating, you have to be extremely dedicated.
You may not always agree with their calls, but just about everybody agrees that it is the toughest sport in the business to officiate.